Here's hoping you had a great weekend. A pleasant evening to you and welcome to this week's first edition of Primetime News with me, Michael Madimba. If it's your first time joining us, do subscribe, hit the like button, and be sure to click the bell icon to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and internationally. We commence tonight's bulletin with the 37th public briefing from State House. Namibia has detected 18 cases of the coronavirus Omicron variant as a highly transmissible new variant spread to more than 40 countries since its first detection in South Africa last week. Edward Mumbo Jr. was at the briefing earlier and compiled our lead story.
The numbers of this variant appear to be increasing globally. Namibia has since been following with keen interest these developments. During the past few days, 2 cases of Omicron variant have been linked to Namibia. This includes 1 case reported in Japan and another one in Czech Republic. The persons are reported to have a travel history to Namibia. Now, following the reports and identification of Omicron variant, Namibia started to conduct genome sequencing of samples that tested positive for COVID-19. A total of 19 samples which tested positive for COVID-19 through PCR tests between the 11th and the 26th of November 2021 were selected for next generation sequencing after passing quality control. Out of the 19 samples, 18 tested positive for the Omicron variant, while 1 was a Delta variant. The surveillance and laboratory pillars of the response are busy at work to learn more about the travel history and contacts of these cases. Moving forward, Namibia has to continue strengthening surveillance and response, including immediate contact tracing of those close contacts.
Staying with State House, President Dr. Hage Geingob cautioned Namibians that the government will be forced to take drastic measures to curb the further spread of the deadly virus should cases continue to rise on 15 December.
On 15th December 2021, based on the evolving health situation, we may announce new measures to fight against COVID-19. If we don't change our habits, the government will be left to have no choice and we have no option but to take stricter measures ahead of the festive season. I'm pleading, if we don't change our habits, we'll be forced to take actions that we may not like during Christmas time. It is not a desirable course of action. However, if the cases continue to rise and the citizens don't change their behavior, it will be the only sensible thing to do. Protecting the health of our nation has always been a priority since the onset of this pandemic, and the government will not hesitate to impose new measures in the interest of our nation. Let us get vaccinated. Let us continue to wear masks. Let us practice social distancing, and let us respect the measures put in place to defeat COVID-19 in our country.
The Ministry of Health and Social Services on Friday launched the National e-Health Strategy aimed at enhancing healthcare delivery in Namibia as well as promoting universal healthcare through information and communication technology. Maria Kanjungu filed this report.
Speaking at the launch, Health Minister Dr. Kalumbi Shangula said e-health is one of the key responses to a national vision of a healthy nation enjoying a high standard of living and quality health and social services. He said the provision of quality health and social welfare is underpinned by timely, accessible and accurate data to inform decision-making for strategic interventions. Shangula added that currently, Namibia's patient medical records are largely paper-based, making the verification process lengthy and cumbersome. An e-health strategy will thus transform the health system and change from the existing manual medical record system to an electronic one, he added, noting that the strategy further seeks to change the way health-related information is collected, shared, communicated and analyzed to improve decision-making and patient care. The minister further said the rapid advancement of ICT has made it possible for them to keep a finger on the pulse using real-time data to enable, among others, proper planning, resource allocation, and ensure health security by strengthening disease monitoring and surveillance. It will allow healthcare workers to capture, assess, and share patient information promptly across geographical and health sector boundaries using information and communication technologies that are fit for purpose securely and reliable. Salima Shumwefeleni reporting for Nampa News.
Conservancies play a pivotal role in uplifting both the economic and social well-being of communities. It is against this background that the Environment, Forestry and Tourism Minister, Pohamba Shifeta, called on traditional leaders to put an end to the maladministration of conservation funds that should benefit communities. Linia Tishena compiled this insert.
Shifeta made the call during the inauguration of the Top Nut Community Association in the Namib now closed Dorab National Park on Friday, where it is alleged that about $3 million Namibian conservation money through tourism concessions was unaccounted for and misused without benefiting community members.
This money does not belong to individuals. It belongs to the community, the entire community. Now we are about to add now the hunting concession. Now, this money all will be generated and put in an account. At the end of the day, there must be a decision of the community, and that it cannot be done at AGM. The AGM will say, this is what we have, these are priorities, and send that through the original office, our original office, representative, to my office, and we now see what projects. You must decide as to what project, the priority project. You line them there, and this is how much you generated, how much you go for administration and paying staff who are working here, and how much goes to those projects. That should be working, it should be like that. And how much will remain on account. Every year should be like that. No expenditure should be done before the committee. Not just 2 or 3 people decide, not even a committee. All people must come to AGM. The budget should be approved at AGM. And we must also see that, yes, the budget is how it will be expanded.
He filmed that the continuous maladministration of conservation money by traditional leaders of communities neighboring and living inside protected areas has led to government to establish community associations that work directly with the ministry in the management of wildlife resources aimed to benefit the community.
Stand by for your top roundup. And the business and economic segment tonight will begin locally. National Planning Commission Director General Obeth Kanjoze says Namibia currently has no law that speaks directly to the implementation of the proposed green hydrogen project, stressing that there is a need for government to fast-track the governance framework. Linia Dishena compiled the story.
Joe on the sidelines of the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the park management infrastructure at Cape Cross on Thursday said, once gazetted, the government framework would direct and address all the issues along the implementation chain of the green hydrogen in its commercial aspects. He noted that the rest of the world is interested in the Namibian green hydrogen project, therefore there should be a guideline on how the government is going to regulate this industry where sun and wind are the resources.
That's why we signed a memorandum of understanding with the Federal Republic of Germany. That money will go into several number of things. It'll help fund scholarships for young Namibians, 1. 2, it'll help fund the establishment of the legal framework of how Namibia is going to harvest this green hydrogen. Thirdly, it's going to actually construct physical pilot plants.
He stressed that government has a lot of work to do, including the implementation of the law.
Environment, Forestry and Tourism Minister Pohamba Shifeta on Thursday inaugurated the construction of a $22.7 million Namibian dollar park management station at the Cape Cross Seal Reserve in the Irongo region. Linia Dishena witnessed the inauguration and compiled this report.
Cape Cross Seal Reserve is a protected and popular tourist attraction area, which is a sanctuary for the world's largest breeding colony of Cape fur seals. Shifeta, in his remarks, said the construction of the park management is geared towards biodiversity conservation, wildlife management, and tourism for economic development for the country, as well as improving the livelihood of people.
We continue to invest in new infrastructural development for national parks. Officials of the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, particularly those working for wildlife and national parks, need to be equipped with appropriate tools and equipment to conduct their day-to-day activities efficiently and effectively. With this groundbreaking today, infrastructure development will take place at the Cape Cross, where we are today, in the Cape Cross Sea Reserve, Oakabmund, Springbok Vessel, and the Moverberg in the Skeleton Coast Park, as well as Caesareum and the Hobab in the Nabinoculus Park.
Ambassador of Germany to Namibia, Herbert Beck, said Germany has been supporting Namibia's parks program for over 20 years to a tune of $1.1 billion Namibian dollars to continuously ensure the protection of the ecosystems and biodiversity.
Integrated park management not only leads to the preservation of the rich biodiversity that is found in the parks, but it's also the base for the sustainable economic use of the parks. Well-managed parks attract visitors and lead to increased tourism and job creation. Integrated park management ensures that the people living in and around the parks are not left out of this development, but that they are part of it.
Salima Shumwefeleni reporting for Nampa News.
That's all the top news I had for you. Stand by for your sports update with Joey Gosses. But first, the economics roundup and a look at what the weather has in store for us tomorrow across the land of the brave.
Good evening and welcome to All Things Sport on Sport Planet. I'm Joy Gosses. In tonight's edition, we begin with boxing news. Namibia's super bantamweight boxer Matthews the Beast Hayter was on Saturday crowned the new WBO Pan-Africa Super Bantamweight champion after defeating Dinashe Matiwana of Zimbabwe in Walfish Bay. Matthews Hamunyela compiled this report.
The coastal town-based Hayter, who fights under the Nesta Sunshine Tobias Boxing Academy, competed for the vacant WBO Africa Super Bantamweight title at the Together as One Part 5 Boxing Bonanza. The Namibian boxer has a record of 6 fights, 6 wins, and extended his winning record to 7 fights and 7 wins when he won against his Zimbabwean opponent, Matiwana, who retired in the 6th round of their scheduled 12 rounds bout. Hayter started the fight on an attack mode, cornering his opponent with a combination of mixed blows, which did not deter his opponent, who was also unwavering and was aiming for the vacant belt crowning as well. Finally, after 6 rounds of exchanging leathers, the Zimbabwean Super Bantamweight champion and his corner terminated the fight and opted not to proceed to round 7, resulting in Hayter being crowned his first ever title and the new African Super Bantamweight champion.
Moving on to international football. The final UEFA Champions League group stage games are make or break for 4 Spanish teams, whose European future very much hangs in the balance. While Real Madrid entertain Inter Milan, knowing their place in the last 16 of the tournament is already assured, with only top spot in their group to be decided. FC Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Sevilla and Villarreal all face the very real prospect of crashing out of the tournament. Let's find out more from Shinwa.
Barcelona visit Bayern Munich on Wednesday, knowing that they have to win to progress if Benfica beat bottom side Dynamo Kiev in the other group game. Barca's recent meetings with Bayern have been painful for the Catalans, with Bayern cruising to a 3-0 win in the Camp Nou earlier this season, while nobody has forgotten the 8-2 hammering they suffered at the Germans' hands a year and a half ago. Sevilla also need to win away to Red Bull Salzburg, but will be without key players Yusuf En-Nesyri, Eric Lamela, Jesus Navas, Suso and possibly left back Marcos Acuna, who picked up a knock in their 1-0 win at home to Villarreal on Saturday. While a win would assure Sevilla's place in the last 16, defeat could leave them out of Europe altogether in a group where all 4 teams are separated by just 3 points. A draw will be enough to put Villarreal into the knockout stages, but Unai Emery's side have to survive a visit to Atalanta, who have been unstoppable in the domestic competition with 5 wins in 5 games in Serie A over the past month. Emery will have to have Onat Danjuma available, as one of his side's main problems in recent weeks has been a failure to convert chances. Finally, Atletico Madrid visit Porto on Tuesday night, knowing that their fate is not in their own hands, with Diego Simeone's men needing to win in Portugal while hoping that AC Milan don't beat Liverpool, who are already secure as group winners. Atletico travel without injured central defender Stefan Savic and with Jose Jimenez also a doubt, while the team was stunned by a 2-1 defeat at home to Mallorca on Saturday evening, which again raised big questions over their play.
Your sports roundup is up next. With that, we have come to the end of tonight's bulletin. A friendly reminder, please subscribe to this channel, like, share with friends and family, as well as add your comments in the comment section. Do make a date with us tomorrow for your Tuesday Primetime News edition. From myself, Joy Gosses, and the entire production crew, wishing you a good night.